Well, how do there, people? It's nCaptainSteve, and I'm joined with Meogi and CrisCrosApleSoS. Hopefully you can hear everyone. So, yeah, do you want to say something, CrisCross?
Hey, good evening, morning, and good night to everybody watching.
Sweet. Yeah, that's coming. Well, I can see audio bars, but if people just want to confirm that they can hear him. And Meogi, how are you, Meogi?
You hear me okay, Steve? I know we're on Discord and we're doing the stream, but we got there in the end. Sorry that it's taken a little bit longer, audience, but we got there in the end. Am I coming through loud and clear?
Yeah, I can see bars for you anyway. Hopefully people in the viewerverse can hear you guys okay. Just let us know in the live chat if you can hear them. That's cool. We've got Christopher in live chat and Marcus Kending. Hello there, guys. Right. So, CrisCross. Now, I admit, all I've seen of you is builds, like base builds on the Interstellar Index or other places, mainly on Facebook, and some of your builds are freaking insane. Is building primarily what you do?
Yes, I bought the game, I pre-ordered it and have been playing it ever since it launched, but like a lot of players, was a little underwhelmed at the start and would come back periodically when they did the updates and stuff like that. And I would play, every day for 2-3 weeks and then, wait until the next update and come back and play another 2-3 weeks. But it wasn't until Frontiers came out and the build system was completely revamped that I, right around the same time, started getting into the idea of building some more intricate bases and stuff, more eye-appealing bases, I should say, instead of more practical bases. So the timing was just right, and I've never looked back since then. Just kind of have gone full ham into building and have stopped doing anything else.
Well, it seems to have paid off. This is freaking crazy, this base. So what's your thoughts behind this base, anyway?
The what?
The thought behind this. What's the inspiration? What's it all about?
Oh, well, it's called the Sith Citadel. And the reason I started this was simply because of these little flame barrels here. I wanted to do something cool with them, and it all started with this entranceway.
This grew from flame barrels.
Yeah, this grew from an entryway and flame barrels. And actually, the staircase right here, I wanted to put something. The first time I built this staircase was in an R&D base, and I lit it up with these red lamps and these red flaming barrels. And I thought, this has a really cool, like, ominous, almost evil kind of glow to it. I need to build something around this. So that was the idea, that I'm going to build a giant evil tower looking thing. And eventually, at the same time, I was working out a method to build a holographic globe so that you could build your own, like, planetary, like, holographic display in a base anywhere. And that evolved into what you'll see on the inside here in a moment, which is a holographic version of the Death Star, like the Death Star plans from A New Hope.
Seriously?
So I needed to build, so I needed to build a building around the aesthetic of, a dark Sith Lord. So that's where it evolved from that point. It was just making it look as menacing and evil as possible.
I think Meogi fell off the platform.
Yeah, I think a bird knocked us both off at the same time.
And I fell off the platform.
Yeah, that's the one downside to this is these giant moths that will knock you to and fro.
Oh, brilliant. I quite like that. That adds an extra dimension of stiffness, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, yes.
So, Meogi, you got any questions for ApleSoS before we venture in?
How long have you been playing No Man's Sky, and how did you get your Xbox helmet?
The Xbox helmet I did not get legitimately. I am on PC now, but like I said, I bought the game and pre-ordered it and all that stuff and played it from day one. But I lost my my legacy saves when I transferred over from my Xbox to PC. I was able to play through the Microsoft Store version for about 2 months before the save file just decided to say nope and gave up. So I lost my pre-order helmet. I lost all my old saves. I lost 1,500 hours of stuff and builds and all that stuff. But thankfully, I was able to transfer on PC with the save game editor. You can grab your base code from your your save file and basically copy and paste it into any other save file you want. So I was able to save my old bases that I had built on Xbox. But
Cool.
then I just I got the Steam version and have been playing on this for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 months now.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're showing us this base as it's your latest build, but how many bases do you think you got? Have you reached your base part count?
Bases that I've actually posted on social media that I'm content with their completion enough to actually show other people. I have, I believe, 15. But when it comes to actual bases that right now I have 7 saves worth of bases. So there's 16,000 parts you can have per save. So you do a little math there. You can have 3,000 parts per base. And most of my R&D bases, my experimental bases, have 6, 8, 10,000 parts in them. So I don't know, maybe 30, 40 bases total.
That's craziness. Now your bases, they're not done with Blender, are they? You've just done this.
No, this is all in-game glitch building mechanics.
And this is normal mode as well.
Yes, this is in normal mode. Well, the benefit of using some of the glitch building and the wire building and stuff like that is you can utilize the fact that it is a glitch and it doesn't require materials. So, a good majority, I'd say 70 to 80% of this build specifically didn't require any materials because the pieces are glitched into place using wire building mechanics. So there's not a whole lot of material farming you need to do with something like this, fortunately.
A lot of the time I look at people's builds and I'm like, well, what part is that? It took me a little while to work out what these are, these sort of bits in between these sort of vents. They're the grow pads, aren't they, for all the plants?
Yeah, those are the 4x4 planers. They're one of my favorite parts to utilize because they have those 4 innate wire connection points equidistant at the cardinal directions around them. And I use them a lot in building scaffolding for buildings, but what you're looking at there is actually the scaffolding for the 2 opposing spiraled helixes going from the base up to the top. And I decided to keep them there because of the red and white kind of ominous glow that they have. And I just built off of those, all those little roof caps and ventilation looking roof things. Those alloy roofs are just wire glitched into a position right to the top and bottom of the wire connectors on each of those 4x4 planters.
It's so cool.
So,
I love it. I love the color. I know you said this is like for Sif, but for me, this screams Cylon. It's awesome. I love it.
It does. So, Chris, you didn't answer me on the question. Why long have you been playing No Man's Sky?
Why No Man's Sky?
No. He said, well, how long have you been playing? But you already answered that. You said you picked it up right at the start.
Yeah, I mean, I probably have clocked close to 2,500 hours in it. I did start when it launched, but I have not played it since launch. I have been playing it for the last year pretty vehemently, like literally every single day for at least the last year. But prior to that, it was pretty sporadic.
Right. So the question is, how long have you been into Star Wars, and because this is an inspiration to Star Wars, and what motivated you to build this as a homage to Star Wars?
Well, I didn't start the build with the idea to build a Sith tower. But like I said, the process of coming up with a holographic Death Star, like a Death Star plan, I was like, I need to put something around that. And the whole reason I made the holographic Death Star is because in the process of trying to make a wireframe planet for another build of mine that's not done yet, I was like, wow, this really looks vaguely like that tiny little handheld hologram of the Death Star from A New Hope. So then one thing led to another, and I decided I need to build a big, awesome building around this. This is too cool to not share with people. And I even have a tutorial on my channel on how to build the holographic Death Star plans. In Star Wars, I've been a fan since I was a kid. I mean, anything sci-fi, Star Wars and Star Trek specifically, I've been a fan of since I was a little kid. I don't know what sparked it. More than likely, my father introducing me to them at some point. I think the first Star Wars film I saw was Return of the Jedi. So I watched everything as a young kid in the complete wrong order. But I have another build. I built the Millennium Falcon as well as kind of another tribute to my Star Wars fandom, and I'm currently building the Enterprise D from the Next Generation, which will be done in about 17 years.
Yeah, getting some major echo. I was getting some major echo then as well, people. I don't know what was going on there. Meogi, you messing about with something?
Am I echoing?
No, I disconnected. I was in voice channel party for the helpers party by accident, so I didn't realise in case somebody jumped in. So I apologize. I've just disabled the sound, so it shouldn't be any echo now.
Brilliant.
So, what was your audience?
Okay, shall we head on inside then, CrisCross?
Yeah, if you'd like to. Here, let me explain first. This star-shaped symbol on the front, the 9-pointed star, is actually, and I didn't know this because I had to look it up because I wanted some sort of symbol at the front. This is the official Star Wars Wikipedia page symbol for Sith Lord. So that's why that's there.
Sweet.
So for any Star Wars fans that are bigger fans than me, that's what that means. And then yeah, so inside we have a very jumbo blown up version of the Death Star plans, which is basically just the scaffolding for the planetary globe hologram that I was designing at the time, and I just altered it a little bit to make it look like the Death Star plans.
That is freaking awesome. That's so cool.
Thank you.
That is so bloody. How did you get it perfectly round like that? That cable going all the way around the outside like that?
That's just a 64-sided circle with reverse wire glitching from one point around the circumference to the next all the way around. Well, a majority of the way around because of the weapon, the laser, the tump here is not connected, but yeah.
That is way impressive. That's so cool. I love that.
The whole thing is, I think, you build a horizontal 64-sided circle, and then you flip that scaffolding on its side by 90 degrees so it's standing straight up, and then you build another 32-sided circle and then rotate that another 15 times to get you, a full sphere of those wires that you save. And then that's pretty much the basis for that whole process. It's not difficult. It's just very, very time consuming. Mm-hmm. But practicing with making perfect circles with wire glitching is a great way to get better at it.
There's so many videos on making the perfect circle with glitch builders. I think there's like about 6 of them by individual, because it keeps changing, doesn't it? Like people keep finding newer, better ways to make the perfect circle. I think.
Well, there's an older method. The one that I originally learned was from Beeblebum that utilizes a biodome, which is now an obsolete method because I drew Cypher and somebody else found out that you can just basically use geometry to pull from specific angles to place square parts and triangle parts into the same central location to make perfect circles with numbers of sides of products of 8. So you can make an 8-sided, 16-sided, 32, 64, 128, 256-sided circles perfectly and easily. Yeah. Recently, and I'm gonna brag a little bit here, I have found out how you can make 7-sided, 9-sided, and 11-sided polygons, and then off of those scaffoldings you can make circles of a number of different unique sides. And I have a tutorial after that as well. If you want to make a 22-sided circle or a 60-sided circle, you can do that as long as you know how to make the 11-sided polygon or the nonagon or something like that. Also the pentagon, the pentagon, there's a bunch of different easy methods to make pentagons out there, and you can build 10, 20, 40, 60, 80-sided circles and 15, 30, 60, and 120-sided circles off of those.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. A lot of what you said went completely over my head, but there's probably people out there that understand every word you say.
Sorry.
No, that's cool. I mean, I'm not a glitch builder, and my building is like, I'm building with Duplo bricks, you're building with technical Lego. That's the difference between my build style and yours. But that is awesome.
Well, and Matilda's in my chat, and he's just marvelling at it, to be honest with you, because Emma's an awesome glitch builder as well. So.
Well, thank you, Enner. Enner's yeah, he's great. He's a great builder too. I don't want to take too much. I know we're here right now, but Enner is an incredible builder. Absolutely incredible.
Now, you've got yourself a teleporter in this corner, buddy, and it almost looks like something out of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I could imagine Augustus Canoe being stuck in there, screaming for his life. If I go in there, am I going to be okay?
Yes, I promise everything will be fine.
Here I go then.
It took a while for me to... I tried my best to cover up the green haze from the teleporter itself to make it red, but you can still kind of see it.
Oh, it looked red to me,
up
mate.
here, this teleports you up to above the giant chandelier to this is supposed to be... It's a red lightsaber, so it's supposed to be Darth Vader's lightsaber.
That looks
is what
epic.
I initially intended it to be.
All right, again, this is probably something that's really... It's a cable, and then you've put like those little bits either side. They're two little base parts slammed onto each other, aren't they? But have you...
Yeah, it's a fully scaled a 3x size cable with a normal size cable in the same position, so it cancels out the little connection point at the end, so you don't have that little knob at the end of the wire.
Oh yes.
And then at the base you have, I think it's like the, God, what is it called? It's a little canister of some sort.
Yeah.
And then let me see if I can't find
it. And then the other one slammed on the bottom.
It's a insulated flask and a gas canister, kind of glitched in the same position, adjacent to each other.
I can see people nicking this idea for robots and all sorts of stuff and sticking them in their hands and things. That's so cool.
Yeah, really, really simple. I'm not great at interiors and decorations and stuff like that, but I was pretty proud of this. A really simple idea that turned out to look better than I even imagined. I'm sure there's going to be a Star Wars fan out there that's like, that's not the right size or not what Darth Vader's looks like. But, you know, maybe it's not Darth Vader. Maybe it's just some other red lightsaber. I don't know.
Another Sith lightsaber, yeah.
I'm Star Wars fan and I've got the Darth Vader lightsaber, and that's as near as you're going to get in No Man's Sky.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was okay with it. I was okay with it enough to leave it. So.
Yeah. Steve knows that me and my lightsabers because he got what was it the
Mace Windu's. Yeah.
Mace Windu's lightsaber. Well, that's as near as you're going to get the Darth Vader lightsaber. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
I like
the cathedral roof at the top here. I shoved about 300 little lamps up there to give it some light from all different sides. This is I think this is... I did not intentionally make this view from... If you look straight up from where you are, Steve, it looks like a ancient like Gothic cathedral ceiling, like for a steeple. And this was all unintentional. I had no intention of anybody ever even looking up here until I accidentally glitched a light up here, and the ambiance and the reflections and the glow of everything looks so good. I was like, okay, I need to light this whole thing up there.
Oh,
You're looking at that's the chandelier below us. I'm talking about the stuff up above us.
I'm looking up. I'm up there right now in camera mode.
Stream delay.
That is freaking mental. It's like a fractal up there. It just goes on and on. You do hit the ceiling in the end,
isn't it? And I love it, and it's completely unintentional.
That worked out so nicely for you.
Yeah.
But even the bit underneath us, the chandelier underneath us as well, is really cool with the glitch separators once you get down there and look at it. And even the center column that you don't even see.
Yeah, no, that's I rebuilt I don't remember whose challenge it was. I'm gonna say Beeblebum's. He had a base defense build challenge a couple of months ago. I think it was his anyways. And this is a rebuild of the gun that I did for that. I just built it upside down and pointed it, towards the ground this time, and didn't do some of the actual weapony bits. I just left it glowing, so it would look more like a chandelier.
That is freaking epic, mate. It's really cool. I love this build. This build is awesome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad people like it.
Yeah, I mean,
if I can inspire somebody to learn glitch building and express themselves creatively, then great. That's my goal.
It almost looks organic, almost looks alive, with all the lights flickering and stuff. It's got its own sort of pulse. It's really cool.
Well, those are those little... I have glitched behind all those glitching separators, those fairly new... What are they? The little bio lanterns that have the little fireflies or whatever in them. So they do actually oscillate their light output ever so slightly. So that mixed with the movement of those glitching separators really gives it a... I did it because I wanted to have like a glowing hot on fire, maybe kind of flame look.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's worked. It's brilliant. I love any bases that people manage to bring in a bit of movement. Even in the center of this hologram, you've got the sort of the separator doing the beam up into the air there.
Yeah,
the fissure.
I had to put that there. I needed something else. I didn't want the entire central part of the build to be just stagnant. I needed something there, so I just glitched that from underneath. And I it took me a while to get it perfectly centered because unfortunately I didn't save, like, the flooring in this room is I believe a 21 sided circle with a bunch of triangle parts flipped upside down. The legacy concrete triangle parts, I believe. And I built it, and then I didn't save the center point for it, like a very, very new builder, unfortunately. So I had to try and re-find a center point for it and place that light pillar underneath perfectly in the center, and it took me a couple of tries. But I think it's pretty well centered now.
You got a lot of love for this base inside the live chat here. Am I okay to share out the coordinates for this? I mean, do you want people to come visit?
Oh, absolutely. The coordinates are all over Reddit and Facebook and everywhere. So yeah, go for it.
Cool. Okay. Well, if people do come here, is there any rules around building?
Just don't be nice. don't leave a problematic message somewhere, and don't put a base like underneath it. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put a base nearby, this base is only like 2,900 pieces. So if you build a big base nearby, it's still gonna load for other people. There's no other bases on. Oh no, there's one other base on this planet. So I'm not too concerned with overhauling the planet with bases and having other people have load difficulties when they visit it. So yeah.
Nice.
I don't have any restrictions.
Cool. Awesome. So what's next for you, AppleSoS? You got any other projects in the making at the moment?
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm building the Enterprise D from the Star Trek: The Next Generation. I'm building a giant hourglass tower for a buddy of mine named Sergeant Delta over on Twitch. He just found a Earth-like planet, and he's putting a community on there, and he asked me to build him something. So I'm building him a giant spiraling hourglass type thing. I'm building for another buddy of mine named Belro. I'm building Deep Thought for him and his system, which is the giant supercomputer from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So those are the three main projects I'm working on right now, but I am also in the middle of a series of tutorials called sequencing, so I'm constantly experimenting with new, what I call Blender glitch sequences to try and make more tutorials for that. And I also have 3 other tutorials lined up to go in between the releases of those tutorials. So I've got I got plenty of stuff on my plate at the moment.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was going to say, have you got another base we can have a look at?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, I'll go up to the Nexus and just let us know when you're there, and we'll come join you.
All right. Where's my ship?
I'm looking for mine. Can't find my ship. I'm going to call it down over here.
Oh, that's right. I parked behind the tower. Here we go.
So how long have you been doing YouTube for?
Well, I've been posting videos to my YouTube channel for a good number of years, but I didn't start really posting regularly with No Man's Sky content until about, and I'm actually looking at my own channel right now because I don't want to be dishonest. I don't remember exactly when my first No Man's Sky content was uploaded. It looks like about 7 months ago was my first No Man's Sky content, but I had an old series on here called Occam's Razor where I would basically rip apart horrible YouTube ghost hunting channels and like tear apart why they were horribly fake and stuff like that. I did about 5 episodes of that and nobody ever watched them, so I stopped that. And then just uploaded little clips from my Xbox every now and then started the No Man's Sky stuff about 7 months ago.
Oh, cool. Have you come across a guy called Casper Sites that does something similar with paranormal channels?
I have not, but I'm gonna look him up now.
Yeah, he's really cool. Like Casper the Ghost, Casper Sites. But what he says is the thing that's happening in my head. I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I thought. It's funny. Some of the things he comes out with about things being fake. But sometimes it's like blown away. He's like, what the fuck? What's going on? You know?
Yeah.
It's good to watch. Yeah. So
yeah, no, that's what I used to. I liked a lot of ghost hunting type television shows when I was younger. And then I started spending my money to buy certain types of technology and equipment, and then in the process of that, actually specifically the Xbox Kinect, I started experimenting around with that, trying to recreate the results that ghost hunters were getting, and I realized through that process of actually learning the way the technology works and stuff like that, that 99% of the stuff that people are putting on YouTube is not honest. It's just not true. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the world a service and try and inform people about how ridiculous some of these claims are with these ghost hunting channels.
I just do paranormal
and
ghost
YouTube
hunting.
Specifically, I don't want to discredit any legitimate investigators out there, but there are a lot of YouTube channels that aim towards a younger audience and just are garnering a ridiculous amount of views from untruths and manipulation, and it's annoying. So I decided to try and do something about that, and it got me nowhere. So, yeah.
Cool. Are you
maybe next time.
You're at your next base?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
I'm gonna come and join you now.
What is you believe in? Do you believe in orbs and the afterlife and reincarnation, Chris?
I'm smack dab in the middle, Meogi. I don't. I want to believe, but I haven't experienced anything legitimate enough for me to go, okay, this is definitely something beyond what I can explain away. I have experienced a lot of weird things in my life, but I can easily explain them in one way or another. So I don't know. I don't have enough information on either side of that argument to definitively say I believe in this or I believe in that.
That's good, because I was saying to Steve was asking me, I went to the spiritual church yesterday with my father, and there was a medium there, and she gave a pretty accurate reading of my father. So nice. For myself, I do believe in orbs and orbs of energy, and I do believe, I've never seen a ghost, a spectre or all these horrible things, and I do believe in, there's something more to life than what we've got here, but no, it's interesting perspective. It's good that you take an open-minded view on it, but as you quite rightly said, there's a lot of people that fake it out there, so.
Yeah, unfortunately. This is called Redacted. It's a pyramid concept about, I don't know, several months ago. I went into a couple Discord channels, and everybody and their brother and sister and aunt were making pyramids, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon.
Well, this is a different take on a pyramid, and I like it. Yeah. This is cool. That looks like an alien type ship. You've got a great imagination to put this sort of stuff together.
I was mostly inspired by Stargate for this one, like the original film.
Very cool. I did like the original Stargate film. I tried watching the series. I couldn't get into it, but then I was watching Farscape and Sliders at the same time, and I was going to go back to it, and I just never did. I keep promising myself that I will, but it's finding it in its entirety now,
I know a website. I'll send you a link later. You can watch the whole thing for free.
Oh, sweet, cool.
Yeah. I don't know if the front door is working for you. It should be motion sensor activated. If you step away from it and then walk towards it. I don't know how well the entire thing's loading for you guys, because I see Miyagi's halfway into the floor right now.
Okay, I'm in. It didn't do any animation, but I'm in. I think Miyagi's got stuck in the door or something. Yeah, I've got in.
Just Meogi. Yeah, it's rendering in for me as we talk, so that's what's happening. Okay. My gosh, it looks like a old mothership, this.
Did you build this on a hollow terminus?
I have, yes.
You freaking genius! That's so cool. I was like, how the fudge did he get these parts? And I thought, he hasn't got these parts. He's built his on a hollow terminus.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Oh,
this.
there the door goes.
I love this Fabergé type egg you've got with the freaking living ship in it. That's epic.
Yeah, it's incubating it. That's the look I was going for. Was this structure is incubating a living ship egg.
Oh my gosh, it looks like a double helix in there.
You've got a great imagination because your bases tell a story at the same time as being freaking awesome and wonderful. They've got a story. I love it. There was another guy that used to do similar sort of things, American Psycho. He used to always have these extravagant stories behind his bases, and I used to love just hearing him talk about what he envisaged his bases as doing.
Oh, Anwar Silver is great at he creates a whole lore to some of his builds, and it's amazing to watch. Because my main job, I am a writer. That's what I do. I'm a novelist, but I never have incorporated story development into a build. I just built this because I thought it would look cool. I had no intention of having any sort of backstory or lore to it. I just wanted to make an egg shape and put that in it, so I did.
It goes so well from this hollow terminus with the egg shape in front of it, and then having that behind it. It's just like an echo chamber. It's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I think it turned out really well. Thank you.
Stephen, look at the Leviathan stuck inside, breeding inside the actual main chamber.
Yeah, I know. It's freaking crazy, isn't it? It's awesome.
Again, this is my attempt to do something, like I said a while ago, don't feel like I'm that great at doing decorations, like interior design type stuff. So I have to put something pretty extravagant on the inside of the build like this, just to balance out like how good it looks from the outside. I need something else on the inside, so it's not just a building, you know?
Yeah.
I've got something to say to that. Horlicks. Add a bit to the front of it. And then you get just what I'm trying to say. You're an absolute cracking interior builder. Oh, I've never seen anything like it in my entire days. Your symmetrics are incredible. And who would think, Steve, to put them cubes inside acting like a double helix, a DNA strand?
Yeah.
The formation, the egg shell is just the base part of those, that whatever that part is, the cube, and because of the way they're placed, it forms that kind of moving, undulating helix on the inside of it.
Yeah, that's really, really clever. It's awesome. I really like this. I'm hard pressed though which base I like the most. I think I like them equally. Even though I'm a massive Star Wars fan, I just love this. This is awesome.
Oh, I'm glad. This one was fairly simple to build the exterior part with. The what took the most time is the egg that you're looking at, which is I think it was 8 or 9 rotated ellipses, which is my method for doing a perfect ellipses, but each one has a different radius besides the one at the center, which is a perfect circle. And then obviously the giant atom type design that's outside at the top. It was I think 8 different massive ellipses, 3 of which at a time, I think at 60-degree angles from each other to kind of give it that spirographic look, kind of like if you're looking at an atom. You know what I mean? Like the little electrons going around the neutron of an atom. That's kind of the appeal I was going for, which led me to do another build that I have on this save called Entanglement, which is a little bit more intricate than either of the bases you've seen so far.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, one of the images that you sent me was of the Millennium Falcon. That one was like, wow, that was pretty cool.
Yes, that was my first real. It wasn't my first glitch build, but it was my first glitch build that I was like, okay, I think I've gotten these techniques down well enough. I can build something that I want to build, because prior to that, it was just following tutorials and learning the methods and doing stuff like that. The Millennium Falcon was my first. I'm stepping away from tutorials for 60 hours, and I'm going to build something for myself, and that was the Millennium Falcon, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I've gone to Travis's one. UASF.
Yes.
Yeah, his Millennium Falcon was really cool.
Yes, for the build mechanics that he had available for him when he made that, yeah, he did a spectacular job with it.
Cool. Right, well that's freaking great. That is an amazing base, that one.
Oh, I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
I have plenty more if you ever want to check them out.
Shall we head to the Nexus and you can chuck us another one to look at? This is awesome. Cool.
I don't know if you saw the front door, but this I want to point this out. This was an absolute pain to make. And I think it turned out really, really cool. I was going for, you know, Horus. He's an eagle or a falcon god from Egyptian history. I was going for the door opening and is him opening his wings. I don't know if you can see the doors opening and closing.
They don't open and close, sadly, for me, no.
Well, maybe let me and Meogi step away for a second.
Okay. They're still open at the moment. They're not doing anything.
There they go.
No, they still haven't done anything on my screen. No, they're still not doing anything.
Huh. Well, that's a disappointment.
Oh my gosh, it's just done it on my screen. You have to go all the way down, Steve. Go all the way down. I'll go all the way down and then go all the way back up.
Okay, we'll try that. No, they just stay sort of semi-closed for me.
It's the wonderful PS5.
Well, it's doing it on my screen for you. I don't know why it's not doing it for your game.
Oh, yeah, it's just one of the joys of No Man's features.
No Man's Sky's fun game.
Yeah.
The PS5, you think things would render in a lot better than they do on the PS4, but they don't.
No.
They're rendering better on the PS4 than the PS5.
But so far, these bases have pretty solid. They haven't had many rendering issues.
Yeah, I'm glad because that's both of these bases are close to build limit. I think this one's 2,700 and the Citadel was 2,900, so they're pretty close to limit. And I'm glad that specifically this is Citadel because that is a lot of parts in pretty close proximity to themselves. I'm glad it rendered in well.
Oh yeah. Better look at the live chat in a bit and read out some questions from there. I can see you've already answered one. Sorry, Meogi, go for it. Go on, talk.
Yeah, Joe J in my chat has just said to Gumbo, he's called. I wish Beebs would build with you, CrisCross.
I've built with Beebs a couple of times. We aren't planning any bases like joint builds together, but we have streamed an R&D stream, me and him and Action Pants Gaming. And I think at one point he was thinking about doing that like once a month. So be on the lookout. We might be doing some more research and development streams together in the future. But that's all on him. Of course, obviously I'm gonna want to do that because it's Beeblebum, but you know.
Cool.
He's got a lot of other stuff he's trying to plan on doing, you know.
Yeah, we've already done Action Pants and his city, his cyber cities, homage to Cyberpunk. That was awesome, wasn't it, Steve?
Yeah, that was cool.
His city is incredible. I've visited it myself. And he's still working on it. He just built a blimp up above the top of it that looks amazing, kind of like a what is that movie? Blade Runner. Kind of looks like the blimp from Blade Runner up above his city. It's fantastic.
So, CrisCross, what sort of job do you do? What type of job do you do?
My main source of income is I'm a writer. I write short stories and put them out on the internet for tiny little internet magazine publications to throw a couple $100 at me every now and then. Yeah, well, right now I'm in a situation where my parents they're getting kind of old, and it's kind of a necessary for me to stay with them right now. So I'm currently living with them, just doing the writing thing and making sure that they don't do anything crazy. So I worked as a chef for 20 years. I was an executive chef down in the Caribbean for the last 5 of my career. As a chef, but yeah, I was a chef here in Kansas City for about 15 years and then got a job down on St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands and worked down there on a resort called the Buccaneer for about 5 years, and then Hurricane Maria came through and destroyed my apartment, and just a bunch of other bad things happened that required me to move back to the States to take care of my parents, or at least help take care of them. So I have not gone back to the restaurant industry yet. I may well in the future, but as for now, I'm getting the appropriate amount of income to do what I want to do. So.
Well, I was searching for your channel earlier, CrisCross, just to put it into my video description, which you can find it, people, in the viewerverse. Just hit it up on the video description. You'll be able to find a link to his channel. But yeah, I typed in CrisCrosApleSoS, and there's actual songs about CrisCrosApleSoS that I'm rather tempted to click on after we finish this, just to find out what they're all about. But where'd you get your name from? Is it based on that weird song that I saw pop up?
No, actually, I am familiar with the song, but it has no connection to that. What it is, and the reason I spelled it the way it is because I had an old girlfriend about 15 years ago who had a younger brother who would not call me anything other than CrisCrosApleSoS. He was adamant that my real actual name was CrisCrosApleSoS. And so I changed my Xbox Live gamer tag to CrisCrosApleSoS, but I had to spell it this way because they only allow for 16 characters. So I spelled it this way, and that's just been my online thing for a good 15 years now, and I like it. So I've kept it.
Cool. Okay, that's pretty awesome. I'm not seeing a base here. Oh, things are starting to appear.
Yes, this is the one I was telling you about. This is Entanglement. It's a sculpture build. It's not a practical building or a base or anything like that. It's just a gigantic sculpture of a expressionism art of quantum entanglement.
Righto. Okay, I'll wait for a while for this thing to appear because it's.
Yeah, it's the central core with the atom and the molecules.
Now you see the atoms loaded for you at the center there.
Yeah, it's like the Brussels atom, which is a sculpted thing in Brussels. If you're familiar with it, so.
And about the Higgs boson particle. That's CERN.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Something like that, Steve. Yeah, it looks like the yeah.
But quantum entanglement is from quantum physics, where you can disrupt one particle at one side of the universe, and its neighbouring particle, the opposite side, will also respond in the same way, isn't it? Quantum entanglement.
Yeah. Any subatomic particles that interact with each other will indefinitely maintain either the same position or the same spin of their subatomic particles. So if you have two different electrons that interacted with each other within one atom, and you split that atom and those electrons go into different atoms, no matter where in the universe those two electrons are, they will always maintain the exact same spin or the exact same position around their neutron. So you can essentially you can manipulate that and know exactly what one electron across the universe is doing, because simultaneously, if you observe one of the electrons doing one thing, you know automatically that the other one is doing the exact same thing. But in the process of observing either the position of it or the spin of it, you are changing the opposite. So you can manipulate that knowledge and make the spin of another electron go the other direction if you want. And you know that its counterpart across the universe is doing the same thing, which is baffling to even think about, but
yeah.
These are correct. A neutron star or a pulsar emulates a similar sort of perspective. Correct?
Yeah. Are you talking about what's in the center there, or are you talking about something else?
He's talking about physics.
Oh, okay.
It reminds me of a neutron, a pulsar or a neutron star. That's the center of it. So.
Yeah, this build sprang from me messing around with those marrow bulbs or whatever those bright little flowers are. I made, and I called it, the one time my Steam version of the game has crashed, I built a tiny little sphere of those things that had like 500 of those in one small little area. And I built it and it was fine, and then I saved and reloaded it and it wouldn't load the save. So I had to go into a save game editor and delete that part of the base because it was just too bright. And I managed to take a picture of it, and I think I put it in somebody's Discord at some point. But yeah, I accidentally made a neutron star in No Man's Sky, and it broke my game. So that's what's at the center of these two atoms is that basic neutron star build, but with like half of the light parts. So it's just, it glows really well, but it doesn't break the game.
I love the use of the wires.
Straight away, that's what I was Steve. I spotted it straight away. Oh, that's unusual.
Oh, some of the wires aren't loading in. That's weird.
They are now. They're all appearing now.
Okay, there we go.
They look cool,
Nice.
yeah. That's well awesome. So yeah, I did quantum physics at the old college, and there was this, I can't remember what the name of the experiment was, but they fired atoms through these slits, and while they were observing them, they acted how they should on the split at the other side when they fired them through, but then when they weren't observing them, they acted completely differently, erratically.
Yep.
I love physics. This is a cool build.
It's fun stuff. You like it? I'm glad. I haven't showed anybody this one yet. I think I submitted it for Beeblebum to visit, but he's got a lot of other bases to visit, so he hasn't seen this one yet. You guys are the first ones to come to this one.
Well, I like your planetary choice. It fits this very well. It's really cool.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought if I'm gonna put something like this anywhere and put it out to the world to see, it needs to be on an appropriate planet that fits the aesthetic. So I agree.
Yes. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. And the way that it rendered in, it actually looked really cool as I was in camera mode and it started appearing. You'd have to watch it back if you're not at the moment, but it would look great. There's like a square here. Did you have a landing pad here at some point, or a prefab or something? Where I'm standing.
What are you looking at? Is it down on the ground?
Standing here on one of the floating islands by my ship. You should be able to see my player marker if my player marker's on. Let me just make sure my player marker's on. Can see my marker. Yeah, you should be able to see me. Anyone?
Oh, I have my HUD turned off for camera stuff. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just standing on. Well, it doesn't matter. I just wondered whether this was a terrain glitch or something. But it looks like something was built here.
I see it. The stream just caught up. I see that. That is obviously I had either a floor piece or a paving piece there at some point, and it made that little indentation and then didn't recorrect it when I deleted it. I probably put down a floor piece so I could have a flat surface to rescale a wire on, or something of that sort, and it didn't fix it once I deleted it.
Cool. Well, I didn't put out the coordinates of your last base. Have you got that base actually on your channel, that pyramid base? I
do, but I don't think I have the coordinates on the video. I'm actually in the process of doing what I call a vanity project, which is I'm not happy with the base tour videos that I put up for all of my bases so far on my channel. I think they're garbage because I didn't know. I'm not good at photography and I'm not good at camera movements. So I've been watching and practicing a lot of other techniques that people are using, especially with a controller on PC, to get good slow moving, panning shots of bases and stuff like that. So I'm in the process of going through and redoing all of my base tours to upload, and then I'll put the coordinates, like the actual galactic coordinates, in each one of those. But my Reddit page and my Facebook page have all of my builds with the portal glyphs and the pictures, if anybody ever wants to visit them. They're all in Euclid, they're all on normal mode.
Awesome. So there you go, people. Hit him up on social media, but also subscribe to his YouTube channel. Hopefully he's going to be putting out some videos in the future with portal code, so you can go and visit these bases. Freaking awesome stuff. Is there anything else you want to sound off on at all, AppleSoS? Anything you want to make us, the viewers, aware of?
Go watch all my tutorials if you want to build like this. None of this, like I said at the beginning of the interview, none of this is done in Blender. None of this is done with mods. These are all in-game builds you do with basic glitch building methods. And I show you how I do all of these things in my tutorials. And also, if there's like a part of any of my bases that I don't go over and you want to know how to build it, just leave a comment and I will make it one of my next tutorials. That's what half my tutorials are, is responding to people commenting going, how did you build this? Or how did you do that part? So yes, that's the whole point I'm doing tutorials, is to teach you guys how this stuff is done.
Awesome. Meogi, have you got any other questions for CrisCros?
One final question. How long, on average, does it take to build, say, the bases that we've seen in perspective? How long does it
the shortest build was the Millennium Falcon. That was 60 hours. And I actually have, because I built that entire thing live on stream over on Twitch, and I have been thinking about posting those on my YouTube just for posterior for nostalgia, but that was every single build since the Millennium Falcon has been over 100 hours. I think the maximum right now was the Sith Citadel, which was just shy of 300 hours total.
This is my question. So I have no more questions, but Steve, what about yourself?
No, I'm kind of gobsmacked. I'm a little bit stuck for words now. I don't really know what to say next. Awesome builds, my friend. And yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you for checking them out. I'd like more people to see these and be inspired by them. So I appreciate it very much.
Well, I've found myself a new builder, which is awesome. So I've subscribed to your channel. Hopefully I find some time to add you to my channel wall. Like I've got a channel wall of all the different people that I watch and things.
Yeah.
I'll add you there, turn on the notification bell, and keep an eye on what you do, because it's freaking awesome stuff, mate.
Well, thank you very much. You should. I'm trying to stick to a schedule, so every Saturday there should be a new tutorial dropping.
Cool.
And I've been good at that for about the last 3 weeks, so we'll see how long I can maintain that.
Schedules are fun. Yeah.
Yeah, aren't they?
Yeah. I try to keep to mine as best I can. But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, nice one. Well, awesome to have met you, to be fair. It's been great, and thank you, Meogi, for setting this up.
Very nice to meet you. Yes, thank you, Meogi.
I mean, he's part of the Content Creators Club. We've got some awesome content creators, and I'll be well. We'll have Boss Julian next week, who's a very interesting builder as well. So they're all coming. It's we're awesome to have all these people that are in the small people that only have a few hundred subs who are just awesome people. I'm just privileged to have CrisCros and all the rest of them in the content creators.
Well, CrisCrosApleSoS has been going 7 months, and he's near to 700 subscribers. That's nearly averaging 100 a month, which is bloody good going, mate. So yeah.
Really?
Well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, because I have no idea. I'm glad that's good.
It took me a good year to hit my first 1,000 subscribers, and then it was sort of snowballed a bit from there. And with No Man's Sky, it's peaks and troughs, because it's every time there's an update, you get a big influx. Just ride. Yeah. There's going to be low moments, and you're going to see that you're maybe not getting any subscribers 1 or 2 months. But that happens to all of us. Just don't give up on it. Just keep putting content out. Be consistent with it.
Yeah, that's all I can do at this point. I don't know what else to do, so I'm just going to keep doing that.
Cool. All right, buddy.
Well, thank you again, Steve. I appreciate it very much. I will chat with you later. Goodbye, chat.
Take care, all. Bye.
And for my chat, I've got a premiere of the funeral today of the Queen.